everybody, welcome in. In this video, I wanted to chat about one of my very favorite topics, which is eyeshadow palettes. Love a good eyeshadow palette, especially love when you're getting a really good value. You know, something from the drugstore, it's gonna give you great quality, but not cost a lot. And there was a time, and I was interviewed recently for a podcast, and I don't think it's out there to be listened to yet, but the topic came up about how more and more drugstore brands are putting out like a full eyeshadow palette. Instead of just, you know, little duos and quads here or there, we're getting a lot of substantial palettes. Everything that I'm going to talk about in this video falls under $20. Some are kind of new, and some have definitely been around for a while that I'm talking about, so you might get a few little reminders of something to shop your stash for or check and see if you have it. For example, the first one I'm going to mention here is the Coastal Scents Revealed palettes. These kind of started off as their spin on Urban Decay Naked palettes, and one of them in particular, and I don't know that this really stood out to me as much at the time that I got it, because I was a big fan of the Revealed 2 at first, which went very rosy and plummy, but then the Revealed 3, I'm kind of coming to appreciate how gorgeous this is, and how it gives a little bit more variety instead of just being rosy. Like, you do have some of that, but you've got like a straight up purple here, you got some really beautiful cool taupes, some bronzy shades, just enough mattes, and I tell you, the texture of these, if you've never tried one of these Revealed palettes, there's a lot inside, and they are so smooth and easy to work with. You've got your black, your really like dark plum, pink, gold. This line in general, if this sounds appealing to you, if you want to get like Urban Decay Naked palette looks, but for about half the price, but still a lot of variety, I think you might really enjoy these. And I'm really trying to dive in and become more of a use what I have type person. And so in doing that, I rediscovered this palette, and I think the Revealed 3, along with the other options in that line, are really top notch. Like I said, the 2 for the longest time stole my heart, but the 3 seems to have even more directions a person could go and maybe a little less shade overlap. Here's another great one, BH Cosmetics Weekend Festival palette for my colorful friends out there. Woo! This is so nice. Something special that I think they did here is that they didn't force all of their statement colors to be shimmery. You know how some brands do that? They found that within a palette, we're gonna have like this green or this blue be like the color that's gonna shout from the rooftops, and it's gonna be shimmery. And here you have so many statement shades that are also matte. And I think that gives it so much variety, and it also gives the non-shimmery lovers something that they can still play with, you know? So like this hot pink and this orange here, this aqua, the pink over here, they're matte and they're very bold and very well done. And then you've got just such a splash of other shades in here, from greens to yellows. I love setting up a look with Escape, kind of getting that warmth going in the crease and then popping on literally any of these other shades. The orange and the purple are very pretty together. I kind of want to do like a week's worth of looks from just this palette because it is a lot of fun and it's very affordable. At first it was on Ulta's website, and that's where I bought it, and now it's just on BH Cosmetics, so I'll link to it below. Next up, you know, it's not officially a conversation about bargain palettes until we bring Makeup Revolution into the mix, because these are $7 and these are mind-blowing. What you're looking at here are color schemes that are most definitely a take on Anastasia palettes that exist. The Reloaded Iconic Vitality is Modern Renaissance. This one here, the Division palette, definitely makes me think Subculture. When I ordered these off of Ulta's website, I was able to get this one right away, but then this one had been sold out because I think there's been a lot of comparisons made. But $7, a great shade range, 15 color eye palettes. If you love the Modern Renaissance color scheme, but you haven't wanted to spring for it price-wise, I think this is an awesome option, so pigmented. Now, some people criticize not only Anastasia's formula, but also the color scheme of this palette. I remember hearing a lot of people say, well, I don't really even like the colors in Subculture, but I love that color scheme. I'm here for a good olive green. I'll take the warm browns. The honey mustard colors are surprisingly great mixed in with all this stuff, and they've even kind of got those quirky shimmery shades in here as well, so it's a fantastic bargain. Allow me to also give mention to an older favorite Makeup Revolution palette, like the first go-round of trying Makeup Revolution stuff when I bought it from Ulta. Remember Neutrals versus Neutrals? This is so good. I compared a lot of what's in here to the Too Faced Peach palette. Like, it's not a shade for shade dupe or anything, but there's actually a lot of peach in here, and then all these kind of mid-tone from taupe to rosy to bronze to dark bronzy brown. Really impeccable textures to work with, and I have dug into some of these. Now, Milani goes way back for having great eyeshadows to me. Like, thinking about their little singles that were round, and you go to Walgreens, you'd be like, do I want to spend like $4 on a single? I don't know, I guess. Like, I continually be drawn in by those great quality singles, and they had like a cult following online. This is like even pre-YouTube days that I remember that. Well, they are on the palette train as well, and they've got these smaller ones called Everyday Eyes, and I love these, and I think these are a really great deal. And I feel like actually I vary a lot as far as which one's gonna be my favorite for a given time, because they've got this warm one that I think is so good. That one's called Earthy Elements. If you like a little orange, a little splash of bronze, that's good. Also, they're very basic neutral, like if you don't go for warmth and you just want those neutral shades that are a little more taupey, a fantastic black, the Must Have Naturals is good. But the one I'm really getting into now is the Plum Basics. And this one is really cool what they've done here, because they've given you a deep plum that does have some shimmer, but then they've given you this matte, like dark red wine type color, and I love that too. But what's really smartly done here is that these aren't big palettes. You know, there's only 4, 5, 6 shades in each, but they always give you a variety of textures. So you're gonna have mattes, you're pretty much always gonna have them in the proper shades that you would need them in, you know, like your little crease color, your matte shade here to be your brow bone or elsewhere. You've got enough colors for contrast. They're just really well put together, not messing around, no BS shades, small palettes. But then Milani also said we want to go bigger, and so they put out Bold Obsessions, and they also put out Most Loved Mattes. Of the two, I think I like Bold Obsessions best, because this really, I think, is their take on Viseart Golden Hour for sure. It's got a lot of similar shades. I talked about these more in a full review video, but the textures here are really nice. They've got some metallics that are so going there, but every matte neutral that you might also want to balance things out. So this was an extremely well done palette here, and it's a way to get that Viseart Golden Hour look without that price tag. Still, you got to take into consideration, this is like a $20 eye palette, and those from Makeup Revolution that I just talked about are far less. So keep a little perspective there, but if this is a color scheme that you really love, like I do enjoy that palette. One that I actually used just recently in a video, check that out for the how-to, but it's this Maybelline City Mini palette. They've put out an all matte. It's called Matte About Town, and I think that this just might be the matte basic palette that could serve so many people who are in like the professional environment. They don't really want a lot of shimmer. Maybe they don't even want a lot of choices when they're getting ready for their busy day. Like, I can see this being the working person's get me out the door type palette. The colors are very smooth. You do want to tap off the excess. When you dip into these, you'll notice a little bit of powder coming out of them. They remind me very much of Lorac eyeshadows, but they're nice. It's a nice color scheme, and it's going to give you really basic everyday looks. Hey guys, I'm back. I couldn't let this video go up without recognizing the fact that I had forgotten something really awesome that is a $10 palette, actually 4 different $10 palettes that are great quality that I really love, and I haven't used them a lot lately, but they are fantastic quality, and I do have a full video where I talked about palettes from Shop Hush, and specifically I think the Bad Habit palettes are so good. They've got these smaller ones, it's like the After series. I think you can get all 4 of them for $30, or they're going to be $10 each. And they're all inspired by the different Huda Beauty Obsessions palettes. And this After Party one has been one of my favorites because I thought that did a really good job of actually combining a little bit of warm, but also a lot of cool, and it makes a great smoky eye. I mean, we're talking a combination of matte and shimmer, and within the shimmer, some really potent metallic shades. So that one's a lot of fun. Another one for my colorful ladies and gentlemen out there, the Aftershock palette. Like, as you can see, there are no neutrals in here, so you're going to be perhaps pairing this in with maybe some other palettes you have, or just going 100% rainbow mode. That's cool. But the intensity of these shades is totally not going to disappoint you. And then there are 2 more, I would say, neutral type palettes. The only one I actually own of the Huda brand is the mauve one. So this is the Bad Habit counterpart to that. And it's got beautiful burgundy, some light kind of shimmery pinks, and then your richer like reddish and rosy colors. So that's gorgeous if if you tend to enjoy that color scheme. And then After Dark is for, you know, the orangey terracotta lovers. What I like about these palettes is that there is good balance. With the exception of the Brides one, I mean, the Brides one is definitely bright, pigmented shades, well done. But in terms of creating like a full finished eye look, I like how most of these other palettes do give you some nice dark shades to play with. This color called Merlot is actually, it might look brown, but it's got some burgundy in there. And the only shimmer in this particular palette is the center one, that 24 karat, which is stunning. So anyway, I thought you should know about those. I didn't feel I could do this video without those. Bad Habit does make a lot of really great palettes, but if I had to choose just my favorite type of thing that they do, I really like these smaller ones because I think they're very manageable, very easy, and they've just done a really good execution of the shades. And I apologize for my lighting being different. I only set up one light here for this because I was just hopping on real quick. Anyway, that's all from me, future Emily. See you later. Some of these you've seen me use on my channel, some you've maybe not seen me use enough, so I'd love to hear more about what you're most interested in watching me apply and do tutorials with. But every brand is really putting out palettes left and right, and I think it's good to be reminded of the fact that there are so many fantastic options for $20 or less, and just a massive variety. I mean, everything from the BH Cosmetics one through those Makeup Revolution ones that are great, like kind of dupe palettes, even your smaller drugstore palettes like the little Maybelline one and the Milani. I think there's something for everyone. So I hope this was helpful, guys. Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy day to watch, and I will see you again very soon. Bye.